Hello dear students, welcome to your SST class. So yesterday we have started with the reading of the chapter lesson number 5 of History, the Vedic Age, and we have discussed few things like the meaning of Vedas. Then we have discussed something from the Rig Veda, how many Veds are there, that is how many hymns are there and how many suktas are there, that is how many mandalas or books are there. Then we discussed something about the social life and the political life of the people of the Vedic age who called themselves as Aryans. So today what we are going to do is we are going to discuss about their economic life, what type of occupations were being practiced by these people, and something we will discuss about pottery, and then Inam Gaon and the megaliths, which are very important concepts. So let's begin the reading again. So we'll start from occupations, that is given on page number 38 of your Cordova books. So just open page number 38 and just mark the objective question sideways. So let's start. So the two occupations that were very popular during that period, I have already told you, they were cattle rearing and agriculture. So please underline. Besides this, what other occupations were important? So please underline. This we have already done, so let's revise it again. Jewelry making was important, metal work, then pottery making, weaving, carpentry, tanning and fishing. And apart from that, priests were learned, so they also performed the job of teachers as well as doctors. Why? Because they had good knowledge of medicinal plants, that is herbs that were grown during that period. So this was something about the various occupations that were popular during that period. Now pottery, it was made of clay and it was molded with the help of hands, and even a potter's wheel was used, and then it was put into a furnace to make it more stronger after the desired shape has been given to the clay. So this was under the heading pottery that we have already discussed. Moving on to Chalcolithic settlement, that is an archaeological site that was found in the Vedic age. We will talk about Inam Gaon now. So let's start. In India, one of the largest Chalcolithic settlement was found at Inam Gaon in the states of Maharashtra. So where is it? Inam Gaon? It is in the state of Maharashtra. Just mark the exact location. Where is it? It is a historical site located on the banks of the river Gaon. So please keep on underlining. It is a important historical site that is located at the banks of the river Gaon, and it's a tributary to the river Bhima, right? So please underline till here. And how many people lived? 1,000 people may have lived here at one time. According to archaeologists, this settlement had lasted for over 900 years. So it comes under the period when there was a population of 1,000 people, and it continued till 900 years. So till here you need to underline, and if you are asked a question on Inam Gaon, then you will write this full paragraph. Then we will discuss what archaeological sites were being found from here. So just keep on noting and underlining. Even you can mark 1, 2, 3 as points. So what are the things that were found? Number 1, it was noted that at Inam Gaon, as many as 134 mud houses have been excavated. So we have come to know about the mud houses and how many they were. So please underline. Approximately around 134 mud houses have been found from this place, and mostly they were in rectangular shape. Please underline rectangular shape with only 1 or 2 rooms. And how many rooms it had? Only 1 or 2 rooms. Please underline. The house which had 5 rooms. So there were some houses which even had 5 rooms, and these were the houses which were just related, or they were considered to be the house of the ruling chief, that is the house of the king, right? The chief may have used his house as a store by collecting grains from the farmers and storing them. So he had these many number of rooms because the other rooms, in spite of his living, it was used for storing the grains which has been collected from the farmers, right? So most of the houses have oval shaped pits, and we have also discovered the oval shaped pits from the houses, that is the pits where the cooking was basically done, and these types of pits have been found either inside the house or outside the house also. So pits may have been used for cooking food. Some of the houses have pits outside, which suggests that people also cook food from outside. Storage bins and storage pits are also found. A lot of pottery and stone tools have also been found at Inam Gaon. So what else has been found is pits. Number 2, after mud houses, you can note down pits have been found. And then number 3, pottery and stone tools. Number 4, then pots are red in color. And what was the specialty of that pot? Please underline, it was red and black ware. So the pots, I have already sent you a picture. You might have seen in the video also that the pots were basically of red and black color. So please underline red and black ware. So they had some black designs on them, right? Okay. So archaeologists suggest that stone tools may have been used to chop trees. And stone tools, what were the uses of stone tools? We have already learned in the first chapter. So they were again used to chop trees, that is to cut trees, pound meat and skin animals, and to tame the skin of the animals. Copper was not easily available. Please underline which metals were used in plenty. Copper was rarely used, but iron was most of the use in this period. Only a few tools such as arrowheads, fish hooks, tongs, drills and ornaments like anklets, keep on underlining, bangles and beads of copper have been found at the site. So only small, or you can say very few ornaments of jewelry or tools have been found that were made of copper, and it was imported from Rajasthan. Which state? Copper was there from the state of Rajasthan. We will do this. At Inam Gaon, copper may have been obtained from Rajasthan. So important objective question can be based on this. Please underline the word Rajasthan, right? Ivory, semi-products. What else has been found? Number 5, you can say ivory, semi-precious stones and beads made of terracotta have also been found, right? Some beads made of seashells are found, which indicate that the people of Inam Gaon had trade relations with other parts of the country too. So what else has been found? The beads that were made of seashells, and it indicates that there were even foreign relations with the other countries. You can say the trade relations with the other countries too, right? So they have very good trade relations with the neighboring countries. A large number of terracotta figures have been found. What else? Number 6, terracotta figures. They have been baked and hardened in clay ovens. Toys. Number 7, toys are in the form of animal figures. So in the shapes of animal figures, toys were also found there. Various animals that have been used in the age like sheep, goat, horses, cow, bulls. So we have also found the toys in the shape of the animals, right? As the bull seemed to have religious significance, and the bull, it was having a religious significance during that period, right? In one of the burial sites, archaeologists found a clay bowl along with a female figure. So even a clay bowl has been found which was in the form of a female figure. So this also shows that in spite of the male figures, even the females were given importance, especially the female goddesses. Probably they also worshipped female goddesses. Other important findings include, please underline number 8, thousands of animals' bones and seeds. What else has been found is animal bones, the bones of various animals that were being used just now that I have told. And apart from that, they have also found the evidences in the form of seeds, the crops that were grown or sown and the crops that were used by the people, that is the ardents, the seeds have been also found. And what type of crops were there? Please underline. Lentils were there, wheat, barley, peas, gram and beans were grown. Daily diet also consisted of dairy products like meat and fish. So this also included the archaeological evidences. Then one important question can be there from that yellow paragraph. Human teeth. Number 9. What else has been found is human teeth have been discovered at Inam Gaon. Dental experts have studied them and found that people usually had fewer cavities during that period, but they lost their teeth rather early despite having fewer cavities. So again we have found the evidences of the human teeth, and we have discovered that the people during that period, they had lesser cavities as compared to the later ages, right? Okay. Then some of the reasons why this age came to decline, please underline. It can be a short question of 2 marks. The last phase of the settlement clearly shows signs of decline. Number 1, due to scarcity of water or rainfall. So what was the reason for its decline? Scarcity of rainfall or water at that period. In the period where they, at the places where they have settled, that is on the banks of the river Ganga, because after moving from the Indus river they have settled around the river Ganga. We have studied that. So next reason can be decrease in the fertility of the soil. Then there was a decline in farming. People began relying more on hunting and gathering food. So this can be another reason. Construction of the houses showed a change. Another important cause can be there. Small circular huts have been found instead of rectangular ones. So now the importance had been given to the circular, you can say round shaped huts in place of the rectangular shape of the houses. So these were some of the causes of its decline. Then you have 2 multiple choice questions. So let's discuss. Dash is one of the largest Chalcolithic settlements in India, and we all know why it is known as Chalcolithic settlement, because there was a shift from the use of stone tools to the use of metal tools, and that is why it is known as Chalcolithic settlement, because many tools made of metal, especially iron, have been found over here. So Gaon, is it Inam Gaon or is it Goa? So the correct answer is Inam Gaon. So it is option number B according to your book. Put a tick on option number B. At Inam Gaon, copper may have been obtained from. So just now we have read it was obtained either from Haridwar or from Kerala or from Rajasthan. Yes, the correct answer is Rajasthan, and it is option number A according to your book. So put a tick on option number A. Right. Then the importance of megaliths and the meaning of megaliths. Please underline. Big stone boulders are known as megaliths. So what were megaliths? They were nothing but big stone boulders. So as you can see in your picture also, I have also sent you the picture in your video. You might have seen what are the big stone boulders. They were known as megaliths. Liths means stone and mega means big. So it is nothing but a big stone. Okay. They were used to mark burial sites and were very carefully arranged. So these are some of the special features of megaliths, that they were very arranged in an organized manner, and they were used to mark the burial sites. So they were the burial places of the members of the family. Please keep on underlining. This practice of erecting megaliths started around 3000 years ago. And what is the time when it started? Around 300 years ago. And was prevalent throughout South India. And where it was popular? South India, Northeast, Northwest, especially the areas in the Kashmir and the Deccan. Some megaliths are visible on the surface while others are often underground. So some megaliths, they are easily visible on the surface, on the floor, on the land, whereas some of them were on the underground surface. In some cases, archaeologists find a circle of stone boulders, please underline, or a single large stone standing on the ground. So either a single standing stone was found or a circle of these stones were also there. This indicates that there are burials beneath. So if you find a circle of these stones, so this means that there was a burial beneath. So it indicated nothing but the burial site. All these burials show common features. Generally the dead were buried along with the black and red ware, and all these burial sites, all these megaliths, the big stones, they indicated only one common feature, that the burials, the dead bodies, they were buried along with the things that were commonly used by the people, because it was believed that there was life even after death. तो उनका मानना था कि जो लोग मर गए हैं उनको उन चीज़ों की दोबारा भी ज़रूरत पड़ सकती है, because they believed in the life after death. So whatever things were used, either the jewelry, the pots, the utensils, so all the, even the animals, they were also buried along with the death of that person. So what type of things were found from the burial sites? Please underline. Black and red pots. Number 1, tools and weapons of iron. Skeleton of horses and horses equipment have also been found. So important question can be there from here. In some burials, ornaments of stone and gold have been also found. So we have even found some of the ornaments of gold and silver. That is the jewelry that might be worn by the men and women both. These megalith sites are very useful to understand the material culture and society of those days. And these burials also indicate that there was differences in the economic status of the people. Some people, they were rich and some were poor. If you find more ornaments, more equipments, more things from one side, this indicated that that family was rich as compared to the family where you find less number of things. So just see. Archaeologists suggest that objects found with a skeleton probably belong to the dead person. Sometimes more objects are found in one grave than in another. At Brahmagiri, please underline, it is an important archaeological site. We have found one skeleton buried with 2 stone beads, 4 copper bangles, 1 conch shell and 33 gold beads. Other skeletons had only few pots. So this clearly indicates the economic differences between the status of the families. This shows that there was some status difference among the buried people. Some were chiefs, some followers, some were rich and others poor. So it indicates that the society was divided on the basis of their occupation. Family burials. Some megaliths were also family burials. Megaliths which contain more than one skeleton show that people from the same family were buried at the same place. So where you find more than one skeleton was but obvious that it was believed that the members of the family have been buried at that particular place only after their death. They were not buried at the same time but brought into the graves through the potholes. To identify the burial site, boulders or stone circles were placed on the surface like signposts so that people could identify the place. So what was the markation that was done? They were just marked with the stone boulders in the form of a circle, which meant that there is a dead body that has been buried under the ground, right? So this was something about chapter number 5. Hope you have understood the chapter. But apart from that, there is one objective question that can be framed from the small paragraph around the world. So let's see about China. Some writings on animal bones have been discovered in China. Please underline. Where was the writings found on the bones of the animals and in which country? We are talking of China. So there are some of the first evidences of writing in that country dating back 3500 years back we are talking of. They are called oracle bones. And what are oracle bones? I have already discussed in my video. So please underline. They are oracle bones as they were used by the people to write queries to God. So they were used as questions to God. These oracle bones were put in fire, and when they were put in fire, what happened? The cracks developed on them, appeared on the bones, and were read by priests to predict the future of the kings and their kingdom. So an important question on oracle bones or China can be framed from this small paragraph, maybe 2 marks question. So please underline and learn it and read it nicely. So let's discuss some of the bookwork now. So come to page number 41. We have multiple choice questions. The word Veda means hymns, knowledge or rishis. So obviously we have done it. It is option number B. It means knowledge. So put a tick on option number B. It's on page number 41. Exercise A, multiple choice question. Answer is B. Coming to the second one now. The word Jana in the Vedas is meant for a tribe, a palace or a fort. Obviously it meant a tribe. So it is option number A according to your books. Coming on to fill in the blanks, that is exercise number B now. The Rig Veda is divided into dash mandalas and it contains 1028 hymns. So 2 blanks are there. First we have 10 mandalas you all have done and 1028 hymns are there in the Rig Veda, which is considered to be the oldest Veda, right? Dash and dash were the main occupations of the Vedic age. Just now we have done. It is agriculture and cattle rearing. So these were the two main occupations, although apart from that many other occupations were also there. Okay. The hymns in the Vedas are known as suktas, which means well said, right? Hope you remember. Dash were the people who did not perform sacrifices. So what was the name given to them? Dasas. And later they were called to be known as slaves. And the people who composed the hymns, they were known as artisans, right? Next exercise C is there, who I am. I am the god of fire. So let me erase so that you can note down the answers for this. In the meantime, if you know the answers, you can just start writing in your books. Let me see how much you have got. Okay. So moving on to exercise number C, number 1. I am the god of fire. What do we call him? Yes, the god of Agni. Next one, I am largest Chalcolithic settlement in India. Yes, you are right. Just now we have done, it is Inam Gaon, right, in the state of Maharashtra. Okay. I am the assembly of elders and important people. Two assemblies were there. The one that comprised of the elderly people, it is known as Sabha, and of the common people, the family members of the elderly people, they were comprising of the Samiti, right? I am a song of praise, especially of God. What it is? It is known as hymn. Okay. Then again, we have some multiple choice questions on the same page under exercise A. The oldest Veda is the Samved, the Yajurved or the Rig Ved. So you all know it is Rig Ved, so it is option number A according to your book. Big stone boulders are known as Neolithic, Chalcolithic or Megaliths. Just now we have done, so it is option number C according to your book, that is Megalith, right? So with this we finish the book work. Then you have the short question answers as well as the long question answers that I'll be sending you the PDF file, so that you will be doing in your fair notebooks, right? Then what is there? There is one activity given on the next page, that is page number 42. So this activity you need to do as your homework, and you will be given marks for this on the basis of internal assessment. Out of 10 marks you will be awarded on the basis of this activity. So what is it? Given below is a picture of a chief of Inam Gaon, right? Fill in the blanks to complete what he has to tell you. So there is one picture that is given, and it's a picture of the chief of Inam Gaon. So based on that you have some questions. Let us see. I live in Inam Gaon, that is in the present state of, you will fill it. Megaliths are dash, you will fill it. We use copper for what, you will use. Write down. More than dash people lived, fill it. We grow dash dash dash, fill it. The houses dash dash dash, fill it. So this is your activity to be done in the book itself as your homework, right? Next you have, in the Rig Veda, people were described on the basis of the work they did and the languages they spoke. In the given table, fill in the names of 4 people you know, choosing 2 men and 2 women. Mention the work they do and the languages they speak. You can also add anything else of the description if required, right? So we have learned in the Rig Veda that people were described on the basis of the work that they did and the language that they spoke. Like the warriors, they were Kshatriyas, the Brahmins, they were in the top category, they were the priests, so they were performing the rituals. So similarly, what you have to do, you have to choose 2 men and 2 women, and you have to write the occupation or the type of work that they do and the languages that they speak. From your neighborhood, you can do it. You might be knowing your neighbors well since you can't go out because of COVID-19, but simply if the neighbors are there and you know something about them, about the languages, about their work, so you can fill in here. So 2 activities are there, and both the activities are to be done in the book itself, right? Like they have given you the table, name, that is the name of the neighbors in the first column, 2 men, 2 women, then the work that they are doing, maybe household wife, she is a housewife, house manager, then the husband might be a doctor, teacher, any work that they pursue. Then the languages that is being spoken, and anything else if you have any information about them, description, then you can write in the last column. And then with this we'll finish the chapter. So I hope you have understood the chapter. Do complete your work and then see you in the live class on Monday. Thanks for watching.